What is going on YouTube? My name is Solomon and welcome to Road to an Inventory Part 3, aka the final video. Holy shit, it has been a very long, painful, but insanely rewarding road. Also, ignore the GN1 below my name, just imagine there's big fat GN2 there because I recently got D-ranked because I was partied up with some of my lower ranked friends. So, just pretend GN2's there. It's still there. Also, I was going to turn this into a 4-part series, but I know in Part 2 I said Part 3 would be final, so I thought I might as well stick with it. The problem with that is, I have a shit ton to go over, so this video is probably going to be long unless I pull some really creative editing out of my ass, which I doubt's going to happen. But I'm basically going to start from the quote-unquote lowest quality, because I have them sorted by quality, to the top tier of my inventory. So starting off, I have the Cloud9 Krakow 2017 Graffiti, just because I'm a huge supporter of Cloud9, as you will see when I review my AK. And I ended up buying, I think, 3 of these, but I've already used up 1, so I have like 96 of these left. I mean, I kind of spray these like literally all over the place, so I don't really care. I have 96 remaining. And I just kind of spray them all over the place, so I don't really care. I mean, I kind of spray these like literally all over the place, so I don't really care. Plus, they cost me $1 a piece, so. Up next is the first skin in this showcase, which would be my MAC-10 Fade, aka the one and only skin I have that is not StatTrak. I went for a full StatTrak inventory, which was actually mostly unintentional at first, and then about, I would say, a quarter way through, I started revamping my inventory and started getting a lot of StatTrak things. The first of which being... Anyway, the MAC-10 Fade is actually going for about $2 right now. I think when I bought it, it was going for $3. The only reason this is the only non-StatTrak gun I have is simply because of the name. It is so cheesy, it's cringy, but I love it. The solely metafaded. It actually stuck so well, some of my friends called me that for a good amount of time. But speaking of StatTrak, up next is the 5.7 Urban Hazard StatTrak, of course. Factory new. It is called the What Is Aiming because... for some reason, I do not tap with this gun. You are supposed to, but I spray. It works, so I haven't changed it. Up next is my Tech-9 Isaac, other known as the Isaac Clarke in Minware StatTrak, obviously. And the reason it's named Isaac Clarke is because Isaac Clarke is the main character of one of my favorite video games of all time by the name of Dead Space. And Tech-9 Isaac, it's black and red. I love it. I love Dead Space. I love Isaac. Isaac Clarke, it worked. Real quick, I'm not gonna go buy prices every single time I look at a skin. I'm just gonna put a subtitle up that says the price, and it's gonna add to whatever kind of counter I have going on. Up next is Double the Stupidity, which frankly I think is the best name tag anybody can give their dual Berettas. And yes, I thought of it. It is also now trademarked, so... if you use it, you have to pay me a royalty. I accept keys. But obviously, they're red and black, they're factory new, they're StatTrak, and they are beautiful in my personal opinion, even though I rarely use them. Up next is the M249 System Lock, also known as the Don't Ask I Was Bored, because why else would you pull out an M249? Also, if you didn't notice, the MAC-10 Fade has a Drug War Veteran sticker on it because... well, you figure it out. And also, as far as stickers, the System Lock has a certified bot sticker, which frankly I think goes great considering the gun. Up next is my Real MVP Graffiti. I unboxed this. I didn't want to sell it because it sold for really cheap, so I went ahead and used it. It is without a doubt the gayest graffiti I have ever seen and I have ever used. I think I've used this like 3 times. I've used this twice. And up next is the Cerberus, which of course is the, you know, 3-headed dog in the underworld. I can't remember the actual Greek story, but there's a story behind the Cerberus, but I'm not going for it. Up next is my StatTrak Factory New Evil Daimyo, also known as The Evil Within. Kind of obvious, but it's because I did a Let's Play on the game called The Evil Within. Also, I have a Headshot Guarantee sticker on it, which I had a War Owl sticker on it, but I don't know why, but I ended up trashing it. I honestly have no idea why I scratched it off. This has actually always been one of my kind of go-to skins for the M4A4. It's not expensive. This thing retails for like 14 bucks or something. Next up, and kind of like a few of the skins here, it was just kind of buy it just because it was there and I needed a skin for that particular weapon, is the PP Bison Osiris, also known as My PP's Bigger. StatTrak field tested chip float, of course, which, yeah, it's got a 20 float, so it's a crappy skin for a crappy gun, even though recently the PP has become OP as shit. Next up is my StatTrak field tested Mag 7 Heat, also nicknamed My Fun Gun, which it's exactly as the name implies. I pull it out to have fun with. I rarely pull this thing out. Next up is my StatTrak Minimal Wear Crimson Web Deagle. Of course, that has to be the Crimson Web. What else would it be? It has a half-decent float, but it could be a lot better. I mean, there's still a giant scratch on the top that you can kind of see if you look closely. There's a scratch on like the back of the slide, but other than that, I'm happy. And holy shit, I just realized the stat track counter reads 421 kills. Why, oh why did I have to get one extra 1 dig? That would have been perfect, especially for the video. But anyway, it also has a happy from Envious foil on it. Just because if you know anything about happy, and you know anything about the Deagle, and you know anything about happy and the Deagle, specifically on the map Inferno, it's a huge thing, through smoke, bunch of 1 digs, insane plays, you know why I have this sticker on this gun. But next up we have the Negev Loudmouth, other known as the Is This Annoying. Stat track field tested, same thing, I just needed a skin for this gun, didn't really care what, the Loudmouth fit, and I think the Is This Annoying name tag fit pretty well as well. It's a lot of wells. That's way too many wells. Next up is my SG. I believe this is called the Treyarch. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure this is called a Treyarch. It is. It is in fact called the SG553 Treyarch. Nothing really special. The name tag is do not use for obvious reasons. I don't use scoped weapons. There are people that do. Honestly, I don't have a problem with people that use them. I don't really give a shit, because I know with an AK I'm still gonna outgun your ass. But moving up from that, we have my XM. What the hell is this skin called? Oh my god, I cannot remember. I bought this a long time ago. It's called the Tech Glue Burner. I called it Bowser, just because obviously the color scheme. I've bought like 6 or 7 of these graffitis since they've come out. It is the Howling Dawn graffiti, which comes in around like $6 or $7. I'll have the price up there. I just love it. I love the graffiti. I love the Howling Dawn. I love the Howl. I love the sticker, and I love the graffiti to death. Mostly because it is a version of the Howl I can actually afford. And after that, we have the Clutch King, which I, again, use pretty frequently. I've bought a few of these. Moving up from that, we have my MP9 Airlock, also known as the Xpectual Beast. The reason I named it that is my friend Xpex is actually not online. Can I still scroll down and see him, though? Nope, I don't think he's actually on. Anyway, one of my best online friends by the name of Josh, other known as Xpex, who I actually did a 1v1 video with. I completely forgot about that. I also recently had a cameo in one of his videos. I played Mike, the AT&T guy who doesn't give a fuck about your internet issues.
Hello, this is Mike with AT&T. How can I help you?
My internet's out.
Well, I don't know if you recall this from our last call, Sweet Cheeks, but I do not give a single rat's ass. You can tell that's my employer.
Oh god, that was great.
But the reason it's named after him is because he actually named my last MP9, which was the Rose Iron. I could not think of a name for it, so he said I should name it I'll Rose Your Iron. Ended up naming it I'll Rose Your Iron, so I ended up naming this one after him, just like I kind of did the first one. And I know it's a bit much to spend this much money on certain skins like these, but I like the skins more than I like the guns, so if I really like the skin, I'll buy it. But after that, we have my MP7 Nemesis. MP7 Nemesis. It was a little tricky to say for some reason. In minimal wear, stat track, of course. Again, everything here is stat track, and I named it the Spray and Save. And after that, I was not gonna do this because I had the UMP 45 Riot, which looks ugly. It's like carbon fiber and camo, which I have no problem with either textures, but it's an ugly skin. It went for like 45 cents, and literally the only reason I kept that skin is because the name tag I gave it, which was Let's Start a Riot, which of course is a reference to Riot by the band 3 Days Grace. But this thing just kind of called to me. I sold my A1S, and I needed something to do with the money, so I picked up the UMP Primal Saber in field tested condition, stat track of course, and I named it She Bites. I actually named it after my old AK-47 Jaguar, well-worn stat track. It was also named She Bites, so you know, it's a good fit. What is this? The SGSS something. God, what is this gun? It's SG something, I think. It is the G3S or G3 something G1. I can't read it because my fucking packet loss is in the way. But anyway, it doesn't matter what it's called because I rarely use. Oh my god, I have 57 kills on it. That is disappointing. Either way, I bought the Executioner skin for it. Obviously because it's a pink and it kind of looks cool. It's like this tribal, you know, blood and bones kind of thing, so I really like the looks of it, and I named it I Got Salty because if I pull out an auto on T side, it is because I got pissed. However, the next one is quite the opposite. This is the Scar 20, of course, the other auto on CT side, and it is named the I Am So Sorry because if you pull out an auto on CT, I mean, this depends on maps, but still, it's mostly because you're winning beyond belief and you want to fuck around. And honestly, I hate using autos. I hate people who use autos, but you know, there's a time for everything, and sometimes this thing has its time to shine. Also, both of these are field tested, and up next is kind of one of my favorite shotgun skins. I don't know why. I was actually going to get the Kraken again, because I used to have a StatTrak sawed-off Kraken, which has the, you know, the Kraken, the mythical giant squid on the side of it, or the giant octopus on the side of it, and I was going to name it the Hentai Cannon, like I had my old one named, but I don't know why. This one came out, I had recently watched the movie Suicide Squad, so I bought this and nicknamed it Harley's Boomstick, aka Harley Quinn, and it has the Bomb Code sticker on it. It's nothing really special, I just unboxed the sticker, so I figured I might as well slap it on something. Also, field tested as well, is my P90 Graveyard, is that what it's called? I'm gonna feel bad if it's not what it's called. Shallow Grave. It's called Shallow? Is that it? I can't tell that. Hold on. I don't know why I didn't do this to begin with. There we go. It's called the P90 Shallow Grave, but I have renamed it the Grim Reaper quotation John. John is a very good friend of mine and a long supporter of my YouTube channel. And I had a P90 Grim, which fit his name way better. I went ahead and upgraded to this and just redid the name tag. After that, we have my Nova, also known as Granddad's 12 gauge, which is a minimal wear Nova Antique. I think it fit pretty well. I honestly don't really care for this skin. I would have much preferred the Hyper Beast, or just something along those lines, obviously, but this was in my budget. It doesn't look bad. The name fits pretty well, so I went ahead and kept this on the to get list. But anyway, we are almost done. Well, sort of. We're more than halfway through, so I'm happy about that. Up next is my FAMAS de Jin, which is named the Didn't Have $3,100, which is, of course, I didn't have $3,100 to buy an M4, so I bought this instead. This is field tested, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is. Field tested, StatTrak, nothing really special. It's a paint kit, looks decent. I knitted a FAMAS skin. As for my Scout, this is actually one of the weapons I ended up kind of downgrading. On my original list, I had a StatTrak Blood in the Water as my Scout skin, but regrettably, I'm not spending that much money on my Scout. I would love the Blood in the Water, even though they just came out with a new Covert, the Dragonfire, or whatever it's called. I don't like it, it's too flashy. I like the Blood in the Water, but the problem is, there's like a $65 skin. This is $7, so you do the math on that. But enough talking about what I was gonna get. This is my Scout Big Iron, field tested of course. It is named the Bolt Action Meme, just because I could not think of any other thing to name it. After that is another skin I actually downgraded to. This is my P250 Muertos Minimal Wear StatTrak P250, also known as the 3 mags no frags, which isn't 100% true. I actually do half decent when I pull out a P250. The reason this is a downgraded skin is I was still gonna get a P250 Muertos, but I was going to get factory new. Because you notice the scratch on the slide release as well as the... God, I can't remember what it is. It's a... That little part my mouse is on, it's a pin that you push out to disassemble the weapon. But anyway, it doesn't matter. This is a video game. Up next is something I'm actually going to say for last. So in its place, we're going to look at the AUG Chameleon, which I really don't even like this skin. I just like the fact that it was covert, it wasn't expensive, and I needed an AUG skin and I had the money for it. It is also named Ye Olde COD Gun, because that's what people in CSGO refer to it as. It's a fucking Call of Duty gun, which is not a good thing. It is like insanely frowned upon. This and the SG, because they're scoped weapons. Also, it is field tested. And up next, let's do Chatterbox. Up next is my little Chatterbox, which I've named Let's Talk About It. StatTrak Battle Scar, nothing really special. It's covert. Even though it's battle scarred and it's kind of ish ugly, I think this is one of my favorite Galil skins, right next to the Eco. Eco is just like really clean though. And up after that is my Glock 18 Wasteland Rebel, which I have cleverly, in my opinion, named Osama's Nerf Gun. And it has a T on Cat sticker, which is actually the most adorable, funny thing I've ever seen in my life. It is literally a terrorist riding a kitty cat in reference to there are T's coming cat on Dust 2 or whatever. And again, field tested. Let's pick up the USB kill confirmed. This is a well-worn kill confirmed. That's bullshit. My Diggle had 421 kills. This has 419. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Here's my USP kill confirmed with 420 kills on the kill counter. Also, I've dubbed it the what the fuck is a headshot, even considering this clip would beg to differ that I don't know what a headshot is. But I thought it was clever because back when I actually got this, my pistol game was weak as fuck.
Yeah! Fuck yeah!
I know I couldn't shoot the 5th guy. I suck. I had to knife him, but still, my knife is stat track too. Moving on from that, we're gonna go to my stat track Op Asimov, which is actually well worn. I was gonna go for field tested. I was actually gonna go with Battle Scar at first, and I was like, fuck it, this is my op. I used to have it. I want to go field tested this time. I just didn't want to spend the money, and I actually didn't have to spend the money. This actually comes courtesy of my brother who bets on CSGO. He knew this was the only thing I had left to complete my inventory so I could actually make this video and finish it. So he withdrew it from whatever site he was actually betting on, and he gifted it to me. And of course the name tag is Say Hi to YouTube. Every StatTrak Op Asimov I have had has been named Say Hi to YouTube, even though I've had 3 StatTrak Op Asimovs. Actually, I've had all 3. I've had Field Tested a long time ago. I had Battle Scarred, and now I've had Well Worn. That's actually kind of cool. And up after that is one of my biggest pride and joys, and also one of my biggest regrets. This is my StatTrak Field Tested AK-47 Vulcan. It is one of my dream guns. I love it to death, and as you can see, there are a bunch of stickers on it. These are all 2017 foil stickers for Cloud9. We have the actual Cloud9 foil, then we have Cloud9 Stewie 2K, then we have Cloud9 Nothing, then we have Shroud himself. They are beautiful. The problem I have with the skin, why I say it's a regret, is the fucking wear on it. I didn't think about it. I sold some stuff, and I didn't quite have enough money for an AK Vulcan, so I ended up putting in an order for one cheaper than they were actually going for, and the asshole that actually sold his for the price I wanted gave me one that looked like this. But either way, I'm happy with the gun. I love it to death. I literally just broke 3,000 kills on it. I have 3,200 kills on this now. And now, for the moment I don't know if you've all been waiting for, or even I've been waiting for, but it's the moment that wraps this video up here, guys. So, last but most certainly not least, it's actually the most expensive thing I own, is my StatTrak Field Tested M9 Autotronic, also known as the Chicken Slayer version 5, which I've talked about the Chicken Slayer before. I think I talked about it in my last Road to an Inventory video. This is one of my dream knives. My all-time dream knife. Hey, I just broke 400 kills on it too, so yippee hoo. My all-time dream knife is a StatTrak factory new Karambit Crimson Web, but I mean, those things sell for almost $10,000 if I'm not mistaken. I mean, a lot has probably changed since I looked at the price last time, but they're still very, very insanely expensive knives I will never be able to touch. And again, I actually have to thank my brother for this, because without him, this probably wouldn't be possible, at least not anytime soon. So again, my brother was betting and he needed some money. So he decided to take a Karambit Slaughter factory new, which was about a $380-ish knife back when I actually got it. And he sold it to me for $200 cash, which I know sounds like a lot, but I'm going to talk a little bit about prices and just money in general after I talk about this a little. And after he sold me that, I was able to take that knife, one, love it, nurture it, and give it every bit of respect that it deserved, and then toss it aside along with a few other of my skins, about 50 bucks worth of my skins, to get a StatTrak Karambit minimal wear Slaughter. And then from there, I took that knife, plus a few more of my skins, and bought this beautiful knife right here. Okay, but the reason I said not to really worry about the price, you know, $200 is a lot to spend on pixels. This inventory got brought up because I was trying to rebuild my inventory. I got scammed for about $300 a long time ago, and ever since I've been rebuilding my inventory to get it to where I am genuinely happy with it, and that time has come. And you may be wondering why we're on my desktop, and it's because I've actually taken so much time to mark down every cent, dollar, and credit card charge that has gone into my inventory, and here it is after I actually go to the file editing. I don't actually know what editing is. I'm sure it's something. And as you can see, I have not updated this list since I got my Op Asimov. I was going for field tested, but I ended up getting well worn for free, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove that and remove left to go because I don't have anything left to go on my inventory. I'm also gonna do this and there we go, so the text is a little bit bigger. The amount of money I have currently spent on the inventory I have is $442. When I was done, I will have spent $630, which is done. I have not spent that $630. I have actually spent just under $450 because the only thing I've bought since I updated this list last was my Scout, which was like $7 or $8. So I have spent right at $450. The worth of my inventory is about $850-ish. And I know it says the worth of my inventory currently is $850, and when it's done it'll be over $1,000. That's because I was going for a field tested Op Azimuth. I was going for a few different skins along with, you know, the Scout Blood in the Water. So that would have ran the price of my inventory up quite a bit. But I didn't buy my Azimuth. I didn't buy the other expensive skins that I was going to go for. I didn't buy my Scout. So it is actually right now, I've already checked it on Steam Analyst. It's actually about $740 something. But when you're a dickhead like me, aka an egotistical dickhead like me, you will also include the prices of the stickers and the name tags. I have $56 in name tags alone, and name tags are $2 a piece. And the other thing, as far as stickers, most of the stickers I own are like $1.30 at the most. The price as far as stickers come from my AK Vulcan. The stickers on my AK-47 Vulcan alone are about $57, or at least they were back when I made this list. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I have saved almost as much money as I have actually spent. You know, of course, my brother being a huge help by giving me a $100 Op Azimuth and a $200 or $400 knife for $200. So, you know, right there I'm saving $300. And you know, the other $130 I saved was also buying through OP skins and just saving through deals I've made with friends, or, you know, deals I've seen on the Steam market. I went in and bought guns on there. But anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully I actually did some decent editing with this. I didn't just, you know, make it a cut com pretty much. Hopefully I actually did things, but if I didn't, then I hope you enjoyed it anyway, and please don't hate me for being a lazy fuck. Okay, let's watch. This is Road to an Inventory episode 1 on December 9th of 2016. It has been like 7 months since I've started this, and so much shit has changed. But again, hopefully you did enjoy this video just because of how much fucking work has gone into it. Not the video itself, but the inventory. I don't know how much work's going to go into the video yet. But if you did enjoy the video anyway, please leave a like, comment. If you have not yet subscribed, share the channel with friends. It really meant a lot. And as always, game on.
Let's get medicated. Man, let's get medicated. Let's get medicated.